Hello. So I'm making this video for a very special purpose. I've been attending the Hans Zimmer masterclass over at masterclass.com, and you can do the same if you want. You'll get an array of insightful videos with Hans, and there's also a community there, and they post challenges sometimes that's pretty entertaining to watch and even participate in. So I've been participating in a challenge to write a trailer for a fictional movie, a science fiction movie, and it's called Metharme Returns, and my instructions are pretty specific. I got some graphics to go with it, and it must be 2 minutes long. And I'm encouraged to use some sounds that was provided to me. I'm not required to, but encouraged to. And it should be mixed and mastered. And I should add commentary, which is what I'm doing now. But let's first listen to the music.
Colonizing the stars. An impossible dream, waiting for the technology. With the hyperspace drive, the impossible came within reach. But people are too fragile, robots too inflexible. A new Voyager had to be created.
Need human intelligence.
Well, sure, but relaying data will take too long.
I will go.
Impossible. Life support alone weighs far too much.
I will go in spirit.
All systems nominal. The procedure succeeded.
That wealthy individuals have been uploading their identities.
Religious leaders have objected to selfish science as
penal colonies on distant planets? Not unthinkable, say lawmakers. You have to call it back. You have to stop it.
How? It's not in my hands.
There's always a way.
Take a poll, call me when the results come in.
That will be too late.
It's already too late.
Are you my real mommy?
of course I am.
The womb of science. They birthed the monster that will undo us all. The heavens themselves are broken in protest.
Hello, babe. I'm back.
Metharme has returned.
Okay, so you've listened through the whole track now, and this was my take on it. And let me break it down a little bit for you. So first off, 2 minutes long. I'm sitting at 2 minutes and 2 seconds, which is the reverb tail at the end. It's pretty much on the mark. I should say that I also had to complete this before the 25th of July. And right before that, I was actually going on holiday with my family. So I had to kind of rush this whole thing. And you can see that I haven't actually named a single track. I made this piece in about 6 hours, I guess. And it's divided into 3 different sections. The intro, and the main part, and the second main part. And let's start with the intro. So the instructions for the intro, let's see if I can find them. So here's the timeline, and it starts establishing shot of the Horsehead Nebula. And then there's narration, and the most obvious thing to do here is to start with the drone. and I do that as well, but I also felt that I wanted to kind of surprise the viewers a bit, so I added a whole lot of attack here in the beginning.
Colonizing the star.
And if we're looking at the drone, the voice here, she's talking about
With the hyperspace drive.
a hyperspace drive, and I've actually modified the drone to start off like this nebula here, and then it goes into an interstellar drive thing, so it kind of morphs into that. Goes back a little bit into space feeling, and the voice here, I've added quite gracious amount of reverb. Actually, I have two reverbs on this one. One is an replica effect reverb, which I have over here. It's a huge tail on it, and then I have sort of a beautiful reverb from Altiverb here. And I automate this so that when, because it's all sitting on the same track here, and I turn off.
We need human intelligence.
There's two scientists talking here, and I turn off the reverb on that over here. I've also done some volume automation here on the track here, and here's an important instrument, and this is sort of a Tron-like arpeggio, but I didn't want to make it too Tron-like, so it's kind of subdued, and it's going on like this while they're talking, and when they're not talking, I'm adding a top layer on top of it. It's jumping around a little bit more when they're not talking, and you can see the voice coming in over here. It kind of drops out straight away, and also the volume is automated a bit, and then goes back in again. And this arpeggio kind of binds the whole track together, and you know, glues everything together. It continues on all the way through to the end. It does a little break here somewhere when I introduce new drums in the second part. As soon as she says the words
life support alone weighs far too much.
I will go in spirit.
I will go in spirit.
That sort of kicks off some traveling feeling for me. She's going somewhere, she's gonna travel somewhere, and I introduce kind of exciting travel music, I guess.
I'll go in spirit.
So I bring in drums, and I bring in also an ostinato and some strings to go with that. So the strings and the ostinato sounds like this. And we have the drums. And these drums, I've filtered them quite a bit, so there's no top end on the drums, so it doesn't interfere with the ostinato, because I don't want to bring up the track too much in tension. I want tension, but I don't want it to be too much in your face at this point.
I'll go in spirit.
I'm saving that for the next part, which is my blaring horns.
All systems nominal.
Here you have some kind of robot, and I made some robot noises, some systems starting up or slowing down or something like that, just before she starts talking.
All systems nominal. The procedure succeeded.
So this is the main theme, and I think that if you are going to pick a theme for a trailer before the movie is actually done, you either need to have a really good theme, or you should go with something simple. So I only had 6 hours to work on this, so I made something quite simple and striking instead. So it's more of an effect than a theme, I guess, compositionally. But it kind of lends to vivid imagery coming right there.
The procedure succeeded.
And it actually comes in twice the same way, but I have a little bit more brassy things going on underneath it.
Lawmakers.
Some trumpets coming in at the end there, just to spice it up a little bit. And then we go into the third part. At this point, we're almost 1.5 minutes into the trailer, and something needs to happen, a shift of some kind. So in many trailers you see these kind of shifts where it dramatically changes the mood of the entire thing, and that's what I'm doing here.
You have to call it back. You have to stop it.
How? It's not in my hands.
There's always a way.
Take a poll, call me when the results come in.
That will be too late.
It's already too late.
So I'm bringing in new drums. These drums are a bit more in your face and a bit heavier than before. And I'm also using some of the supplied sounds. I'm using the bass rumble and a quartal choir, it's called. So I'll pick these sounds for this part. I think the quartal choir sounded pretty good for... you know, that could be in sort of inside a high-tech room or something that they're inside, and sort of adds flavor to it. And
It's already too late.
when she says it's too late, we go into more heavier drums still.
Late.
And it's almost like a sad tone coming through here.
It's already too late.
Are you my real mommy?
Of course I am.
And that sounds like a lie. So I added some
Of course I am.
Brahms right there after that lie.
Womb of science.
And I have to tone it down a little bit again when the church guy comes in here.
And from the cold womb of science, they birthed the monster that will undo us all. The heavens themselves are broken in protest.
And as soon as he stops talking, I can bring in more drums and more ostinato to drive on through.
Hello, me. I'm back.
Metharme has returned.
And on the end of her voice, I bring back these massive delays and I fade my master channel. Apart from that, I've sprinkled a lot of futuristic effects across the entire track. You could argue that it's more, a trailer is more, this type of trailer at least, is more of a sound design job than it is compositional job. But when I listen to the voiceovers, I do get a lot of images coming through my mind, and I try to put some effects to augment that, and maybe you can see some images when you hear these effects too. Anyway, that's my quick run through of the trailer that I made for Masterclass. Thanks.